was thinking today about the word woke and the whole controversy that was, stirred up in the U.S. at one point by the far right and religious sects, I guess you would say, sects about people being woke, like that's the new way that's going to lead to our downfall. Like these new ways of thinking will go against tradition and against what we have always known. And somehow progress or the progressive movement became something to be laughed at, cajoled, mocked. And I felt like there was a weak response, if you will, by people who were woke. You know, their response was to basically defend themselves. People that were woke or spiritually advanced is really what it is, or awakened. They would belittle really their stance by getting bogged down in the argument. There was a false narrative. So it's like getting into the details of the little web that was being spun, and you'll never get out of it because they knew what they're doing. They were using a strategy to throw out these words and to throw out something to get you caught up into the defending yourself based on what they were saying, when really you're here to propose a new idea or propose, it shouldn't even be new. It's what it should have always been. But people are now waking up. Some people are waking up to how this world is intended to be lived in, how love should lead the way. So, for instance, you could have a far-right church, traditional, led by men, who want men to stay in power. So what they do is project any fear around anything that is going to promote education about Black history. So they want to shut that down, and being woke to people's pain and suffering, generation after generation, that's a bad thing. Women to be empowered and seen as what they are, which is equal. That anything surrounding that, it was more subdued or quiet because they really didn't want to stir up the numbers of women voters. So it was kind of subdued, but you know, the good old boys always know that they want to keep power in check. So that's also another way in protecting, children, the elderly, people who are vulnerable, for whatever situation they're in or life stage that they're in. It's like, let's bully them, let's keep them down, let's control them, which is really evil. So don't be woke, don't be an advocate for children, the elderly, and what they need, and treat them as precious people in this world. Animals too. Don't address those concerns. Let's keep ignoring all of that and call it not being woke and keeping things as is. That's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. And I think people need to speak more passionately about this instead of getting caught up in their argument and defending yourself as, oh, I'm not a witch, or oh, I'm not. You already know you're not. Don't play their game. You just keep pressing forward with your mission and with your message, which is about love, protecting the vulnerable, not giving into bullies, not feeding into their dogma, and not ever feeling ashamed to being who you are, spiritually evolved. If they don't want to grow up, wake up, then God will deal with them, thankfully. But as for you, you don't have to defend anything, not at all. So with that, let's get into the tarot, or the spiritual messages that can come through these cards. What should people know about this? How much is, I mean, I really can't understand how people continue to be led. I just think of these churches and what's behind the leadership behind the churches. How many times are we going to have to see the mischief, the corruption, the evil doing? Sometimes they use that power over the people to just brainwash them, to take advantage of them, to abuse them. And I think that it just really needs to be highlighted and shown. That way it can be purified. Pour some bleach on it. Okay, so star healing codes came out. Important information. Wounds are healed, recharging. What goes with this? Let me give it a fresh shuffle. Can you tell me what goes with this star being healing codes? Thank you. Mother of air, boundaries. So while your wounds are being healed and you're recharging to go forth as this light worker, as this woke person, this sensitive person to people's issues, concerns, and protecting people, advocating for people, and causes that help people. Mother of air means boundaries. So you may have to set your boundaries as far as who is allowed in your, not just in your company, as far as people who are not aligned with your mission, who still are not woke, or who profess to being woke is something wrong. Organizations, political parties, religious group, anything that you may be associated with, just out of feeling like maybe you had maybe always known these people, have always gone to this church, have already subscribed to being a part of. It's time to set some boundaries and live authentically. Your beliefs matter, and they shouldn't be tucked, and you shouldn't be ashamed of. Maybe you're someone out there that actually feels like, okay, well, I'm ashamed when I'm around these people, so I'm not going to really speak up. Change your people. Stop listening to and watching any social media, TV programs, movies, anything that has these subtle innuendos of supporting the old way, which was not a good way ever, and it should have never been that way, which is to oppress any person, any people, any kind of lifestyle. It's not something that we are going, the new earth does not involve any of it. It has no tolerance or patience for it anymore. So let's not even, babysit these people anymore. It's time to speak up fiercely, not to hurt anybody, but stand your ground. The other side has always stood their ground. They've never been afraid to bully anyone or oppress anyone. It's time for you to be just as firm. You know what I mean? Boundaries, absolutely. Let's get some more. Anything else for this message? Wisdom of Oracle deck. Woke people, proud to be woke. Who wants to be asleep? That's so silly. To be nice, I have to say silly. Deep knowing. You have a very deep down knowing about what's right and what's wrong. You may have been born with that. I don't know why everybody is not born with that. But no, we are not all the same. That's a big misconception. Some of us they don't know what, they don't have a right bone in their body. They don't know. They're so far removed from God, they have no idea what's right or wrong. And a lot of them are in and heads of churches. And they are leading people blindly. Blessed. No, you are blessed. Being blessed does not belong to people who go to church every Sunday to a structure led by men that tell them what is right or what is wrong and how to interpret the Bible. You are blessed. You are ordained. You are able to channel God's messages yourself. You don't have to wait for anyone else. Don't let the messages be misconstrued or diluted or polluted in any way coming from someone else. One more before we go into another direction with this. Thank you. Community. Uplift your community to those that can be swayed, can hear you out. Speak to them. Grow your tribe in that way. But to any ignorant, arrogant, ego-driven, we have no more tolerance for them. Don't waste your breath or energy arguing in loops that they just want to keep you in, because they have their own attachments, demons, telling them what is wrong is the way to go. So you're just going to waste your time with them. Let God deal with them at that point. You are here to reach others that are reachable, who want to wake up, who are wakeable. Now, how can you help? Let's get some messages on how you can use your loving light and your God-given abilities to change this world, because that's what we're here to do. We're not here to be asleep or controlled by sleepwalkers. We are here to make this earth better right now. Crystals. Your connection to crystals and gemstones is a channel for healing energy. Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad this came up. It reminded me of something. Today I was watching another channel, YouTube channel, and she mentioned how people are against spirituality. When they see crystals, they think, oh my, she's a witch or she's into something evil. And by the way, a lot of these churches, they preach against spirituality and witchcraft. And there's a white way of using energy, and there's a dark way of using energy. Some churches use dark energy behind closed doors. They don't let their members know what they're doing. They brainwash them or control them with that dark energy. But they do use it for dark, evil, and blasphemous ways against God. So yeah, crystals. But what she's saying is Tesla was empowered by crystals or believed in using crystals, or I haven't looked into that myself, but she did mention how people run out to get a car and they don't hold it against Tesla. But with everyday people, if they come to your house and see a crystal and they're starting to accuse you, blame you, or judge you at the very least. Isn't that amazing? So yes, crystals can help you. It can heal you and others around you. You can use obsidian, you can use amethyst, you can use rose quartz, clear quartz, anything you want. And who cares what people say? You know what you're using it for. Let go. If they don't understand, let go. You may have to show them the door. And there is nothing wrong with that. Use your creative expression, my friend. Use it. Let God work with you. Co-create with God on how to spread the light, on how to stand firm. Even if you are, quote unquote, alone in the beginning, you won't be for long. You and God, you're going to attract others. You're going to have so much support. Your angels are already supporting you. Your ancestors already support you. That's the unseen support. But you will have 3D in your everyday practical world support as well. Use your creative expression. And what kind of creativity, you ask? Writing? Are you good at writing? Art? You're not good at art, but you've been drawn to painting. You want to break out those crayons, or you want to break out the paint, or you want to get your pottery. You'll be surprised when you put your loving energy into something and you sell it to someone else. They are getting that loving energy. How many times have we bought things and that we have no idea where that energy came from or what went into making it? So change that around. That's just something off the top of my head where I'm thinking, but of course, traditional forms of art and creativity, you may sing and you put all your love in your singing. It can reach lots of people singing. I just think of Yolanda Adams, amazing angel in her voice. That's not just a voice. You know, I know the difference. Sometimes you can hear a voice that is sweet, melody. It's a very nice voice. It could be it can hold a chord or hold a ballad for a long time or whatever, but it's not the same as someone who may not even have as nice a voice, but you can feel and resonate the God in their voice. Yolanda Adams definitely has something in her where you hear her singing, you feel connected to God. That's powerful. If you have that ability, it doesn't matter if you don't sound like, you know, whoever, the star-studded celebrity, #1 in the charts. You don't have to. Your authentic connection to God will come through, and it's beautiful. It will heal others. Writing came out, and I mentioned that with creative expression. Yes, writing scripts for movies. You know what I mean? How many movies do we have that you watch it and you go feeling yucky? It was demon stuff all over that. Subtly, not so subtly, reinforcing all kind of subconscious evil. It just really, that's what most of it is. It's hard. You'll be hard pressed to find something high vibrational. Write scripts for movies, for TV series, for books, anything. Just change this world. It's time. Freedom. You are free to do it. Don't let anyone bully you or make you feel afraid or weak or soft because you have an angelic spirit or you are innocent and sweet. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you have leadership. Take the lead. No better leader than you. It's too long that we step back and let the leaders belong to the bullies, to the corruptors, to the people who are hurting people, sometimes children, the very ones behind things and all of this nonsense. Those are people we've allowed to stay in leadership. I say no more. No more, no more, my friend. Let me get a shadow oracle to end this out. How about for the collective? Or for humanity, for a whole, the entire collective? What's a message regarding this, please? Neglect. Lead to your inner garden and it will flourish. Now this I ask for the whole, I think that it will flourish. But do you see this picture? There's nothing flourishing there. It's neglect. So if you don't tend to this garden with love and light, it's going to be left. This earth, which we refuse to allow, will become barren, will be left to just destruction. It will just be slaves and these evil masters, mostly men, all men, if they have it their way. And I don't think that that's what we're going to subscribe to. I don't. We're going to tend to our garden, the inner first. And what's going to reflect the inner? The outer. Believe it. Start with you on the inside. Stand firm. Stand in just. Know you are blessed. Nobody has more power than you. Nobody is connected to God more than you. Listen to your own integrity, to your own heart, and then create that world outside of you. One by one, we can do it. That's the only way it's going to get done. And that is the new earth. So whether people want to wake up or not, the earth is about to wake up. And they can be left behind. God can deal with them. I don't know where they're going to go, but this earth is changing, my friends. So I love you. I wish you lots and lots of love and peace and harmony as you press forward in your leadership, authentic leadership. And I will see you next time.